Okay, people. So today, right, thanks to Studio Dome and the Horror Collective, I got a chance to check out Silence of the Prey. So this is the new film, right, from Michael Vaynberg and Karyna Kudzina, right? They co-directed. Kudzina also co-writes the film with Saro Varjabedian, right? It is produced by Den Tolmore, Monty Bezell, and Karyna Kudzina, right? Wearing a lot of hats. It's executive produced by Oleg Rubistov and Sergei Petrician. And yeah, an associate produced by Sebastian Twodzov. Saro Varjabedian also handles cinematography. Michael Vaynberg, he edits the film as well. Almundina Caminero is on production design. Alec Adelia, art direction. Alina Rose, she handles the makeup and the hair. Right. We've also got Pedro Tamamasi helping out with aspects of the film. Now, our cast. Right. The cast information is right. So, as well as, directing, writing, producing, Karyna Kudzina also stars in the film as Nina. Her daughter is played by her daughter, Isabella Bezell. She plays Isabella. Right, we then have got Luther, played by Christopher LaPlanta. Right, there's Andreas, played by Monty Bezell. We have got Michael, played by Loriana Israeliova. Justin, played by Timothy Shelbourne. Anna, played by Rebecca Packer. Brandon, played by Michael Doyle. Abby, played by Abigail Ashley. And Brian, played by Brian Wright. So yes, that is that's the cast there. Now, some of the other information, right? So the story, it's this: in a desperate bid to secure a future for her child, an undocumented immigrant mother takes a caretaker job. Unbeknownst to her, the elderly man conceals a horrifying truth. She's the next item on the menu. Ooh, right? Yo. I mean, that doesn't sound good. That definitely does not sound good. Now, this is actually the feature directorial debut of Karyna Kudzina. Right? So she's worked in TV and film for a while now. Like roles in some big franchises. But yeah, first time behind the camera itself, so that's a big thing, right? And the film had its premiere at the 8th Golden State Film Festival, which is that's pretty cool, right? Premiering at a big major festival. Now, a few people had some comments to make about the film, right? So producers Monty Bezell and Den Tolmova said this: our film encapsulates the harrowing vanishing of thousands shrouding the boundary between the enigmatic and the inconceivable. It stands as a chilling homage to the terrors that reverberate within the void of the absent, an uncompromising, spine tingling saga that compels us to confront the abyss lurking amidst our midst, which is, yeah, I think it's a big thing about this film, and you can definitely see it, right? You can see what they're trying to do here, right? Shine the light on this situation. Now, at the end of the film, we get hit by some information, which is like, oh, that's just not great, right? So the DHS has lost track of 177,000 thousand migrants inside the US. I mean, that's a lot of frigging people. According to the US Department of Health and Human Services, right? As of 2023, more than 85,000 undocumented children have gone missing over the past 2 years. No signs of life, no contact, no accountability, no answers. I mean, that is horrific. And that's that. Right now, you also have to take into consideration all the other people, right, coming into the country. There's a load of people crossing borders, coming to the country for whatever reasons, and they have no rights, you know, and even people coming to the country to legally get the visa and just all of these things, there's still that period of time when they are in but have no rights because they have no green card, they have no right to work. You know what I mean? So there's this horrible situation where people are taken advantage of. At the start of the film, it says this is based on a true story. Now, now, that can mean all manner of things, right? The amount of time, that you watch a film based on history, and it's like it's based on, and you're like, oh shit, right? That really, and you're like, no, a lot of it happened, but not like that. Like the Tetris film was a big one because the stuff we see in that film happened, but not on that accelerated timeline. So, what I mean? You definitely have to take these things with a pinch of salt. And with this, you just hope, hope that none of this stuff happened to real people. The concerning thing is the things we see on the news, right? The stuff we know about. This is so relatable. Like these things have happened. So it's just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like you just hope this did not happen to someone. But yeah, it is based on true story. And we start off, right? So Nina is in a car with her daughter Bella and being driven by Mary. Mary works for a charity and they help undocumented migrants, find work, right? So they place them in places where they can work, cash in hand and save up, right? Save up so then they can go through that process and get proper documentation and be legal, right? That's the dream. That is the dream. So we that's how we start. And it's all nice. It's all nice until they get to the house. right? We get to the house, is a bit crazy. You know, they're knocking on the door for a while, nothing. And then this dude comes. Looks like a normal old dude. Yo, looks like a dude that could be playing Santa in the mall, right? You know what I mean? He looks normal, but he's a bit like, you know, he invites them in, but then all of a sudden it's just like, you know, I don't marry, you know, I don't take women with children. And you're just like, I mean, they're sitting right there, son. Like, you could say that, you know, to marry somewhere else. You don't have to say it there. You know what I mean? But yo, he does take them in. He takes them in. And he is very doting on Bella, right? You know, he's nice to Nina as well. There are times he's a bit harsh, right? One big thing is just like, look, you know, these are the things you do, and everything is good, but you do not go into the shed or into the basement, right? We straight away is, you know, in films like this, in a horror film, it's just like, okay, we need to be very cautious of these two spots, right? What's happening in these two spots, right? So we get that, but you know, it all seems pretty inconspicuous, really does. Now, one issue I did have with the film is, as I said, it's very inconspicuous, but there's a couple of moments early, because you have your doubts, right? There are concerns over certain things, and you think, what could be up here? And that's cool. That's fine, right? There's oftentimes these red herrings, and you're like, oh, is it this? And you think one thing, and then the film goes somewhere else, and you're like, yo. But with this, they do play a lot of mood music, right? So when certain people are on screen or certain things are shown, creepy music is played, right? Which I do feel gives certain things away. Now, you don't know exactly how the film's going to play out, right? But with the music, I think that's too much of a nod, right? I do think the viewer gets a better experience if they really do not know, you know? Now, as I said, doesn't hurt the film too much in the you know, regards that we still don't know exactly how things will play out. But I would have I would have preferred no nods. No nods to anything, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we're in this place, and you know, certain things start to happen, right? You know, Nina starts having these visions, which you do wonder about, right? Because there's certain things that are happening to her, which you know, you kind of, I think you start to think, hold on a second, right? So the visions are interesting, because you're like, are they related to this other thing? Like, what actually are these? Now, when the way the film plays out, you're still not quite sure what that was about. I mean, once you've seen the film, you'll understand where I'm going with that. But you know, it adds that component. Now, there are places in this film where I think the story could be, you know, it could be a little tighter, right? There's an incident when she goes towards a door, and Luther's just like, why did you open the door? But she didn't actually open the door, right? So there's things like that that could have been tightened up a little bit, but I think we understand what's going, right? You do believe in Nina's situation. She's an yeah, I said that right. Good. Why do I doubt myself? She's an undocumented migrant, undocumented migrant, right? So there's going to be a nervousness about her situation, what she can do, what she can say, where she can go, the questions she should ask. So you do get that. You believe that. And Bella, she's doesn't really get what's going on. So she's just free, right? So she plays with Luther, she runs around, she does stuff, right? So this dynamic you believe, right? Now you have the ignorance of people, which is shown at a dinner party, you know what I mean? Which, some of it's ridiculous, right? And you do think, come on now, who would? But there are those people, right? So I think sometimes you look at things and be like, no, 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 no. But then you have to check yourself and remember, oh, fuck, yeah, those people. So it's a little ridiculous, but not out of the realms of reality. So we have all of this going on. Now, there's definitely some shock moments. Oh, people, there are some shock moments that I was just like, what the fuck? I was not expecting that. I was not. So I say the special effects, the person that did the special effects on this film, hats off to you because you killed it. Oh my days. Really kill, because there's stuff that you see and you're just like, I know that's not real, but god damn, that looks so real. That looks so real. Right? So that's done very well. That was done very well. So even though, right, there are things in this which I think could be tweaked. It's not a perfect film, but I think it gets the message across, right? There are things that are so good, like the special effects, the the framing of the atmosphere, like things like that are done very well. You know what I mean? Like the chemistry between our main four characters. You buy it. You definitely buy it. Right? So all of that is done really, really well. And I think that sells this film. It sells the film. Right? So yeah, but I'm not a fan of moon music, right? You know that. But like, as a first-time director, Kudzina, has definitely shown us like her capabilities, right? Shown us there's a potential here. So we do have that. And the ending of the film, man, like it gets gully. It gets gully, people, right? The action ramps up, really does ramp up. You know what I mean? Like there is a scene, a cleansing scene. Let me just say that, which is an interesting one because you wonder about, does it, like, yeah, there's things that we see and you're thinking, okay, it'd be interesting to find out how it was done, right? And the the impact it brings to the film, right? Could it be shot a different way? It's not a bad scene, but there is a curiosity from me around that scene. But yeah, on a whole, right? On the whole, this film, I think it does what it sets out to do. It shines the light on this situation. Now we've had some other films that kind of play in that field. Like there was Maya, right? That we looked at mid last year, I think it was. The girl in the back seat, right? From the beginning of 2023. Small World, which I think that was like 2019, maybe 18. So there's films that have kind of played with like this situation, undocumented people being taken advantage of, you know. So we have seen that. And I don't know if it's as strong as some of those, right? But like those films, it is powerful in the message that it's giving us, right? So I would say if you're interested in this topic, it's definitely something to check out. And people, you will be able to check this film out on the 15th of May, right? So mark it down on the calendar, right? It played the Golden State Film Festival. And I don't know what other festivals it will be playing at, but I would say keep an eye out, right? Keep an eye out. But yes, Silence of the Prey. There's some stuff in here. There's some stuff, and you need to be careful because you're gonna jump. You're gonna jump at least twice. At least twice, right? So be prepared. Be prepared. And it's tough subject, but important. So 15th of May, Silence of the Prey. People, enjoy.